Hi guys, and welcome to episode 26 of the Spfl RTG on FC25. And this video is just serving as a wee bit of a club update, given the fact that we're now a couple of weeks into team of the season, to show off how the squad's looking and kind of show off a couple of high rated bits of fodder and stuff like that we have in the club. And as you can see, we've also changed our kits and badge as well. So in terms of the starting 11, we have, of course, a few team of the season evolution players in there. Hopefully come, not this weekend coming, but next weekend when the rest of Europe team of the season comes out, we have one or two Scottish Premiership players that we can actually put in team of the season wise. But we have the Alistair Johnson at right back there that was, of course, a team of the year nominee. That's why he's got that dynamic image. He can now play centre-half as well if we wished. We've got Rubicic in there. Alex Vai at left-back. He has, of course, the same rating as maybe James Penrice. We could get some Hearts representation in there, but he has 3 playstyle pluses, so that's why I've stuck him in there. We've still got our Team of the Years, Dan Casey and Danny Armstrong in the team, along with our Become Immortal Evolution, Lennon Miller there. Team of the Season, Arne Engels. He has 4 playstyle pluses. We used one of the Tiki Taka one from the Season Pass on him. We have a Team of the Season, Yang, who went into a couple of Team of the Season EVOS to get up to that stage to be able to play Cam. We've got our Team of the Season, Duke, at left mid. And of course, we still have Kyogo up top as it stands, along with that infuriating informed Jack Butland in goals. Hopefully, I'm not holding out much hope, but hopefully we get a Team of the Season Kasper Schmeichel, or maybe a flashback Jack Butland or something. I'm not holding out a lot of hope at this stage. But as you can see, we're going for the Dundee badge, the Dundee United home kit, the Motherwell away kit, and Jimmy Tulline as manager. I just didn't do a wheel or anything like that. Every club has been represented in some capacity this season so far. I just decided to go for random ones this time around, and I thought that was some good looking kits that I hadn't gone for. I do actually like the look of the Dundee badge, and I hadn't used Jimmy Tulline yet, so I thought I would go for him. And that's our current record. As you can see, we have, of course, way more wins than losses, which is always positive, particularly when given the fact that we've not used any sort of meta players this year. I'm quite pleased with how the record is overall. It maybe could have been a bit better, particularly at the start of the year when we were struggling, but I'm pretty happy with it as a whole. And that's our match earnings as it stands, as well as you can see, our club value and transfer profit as well, as it stands at the moment. So again, I think a big part of the transfer profit there was when we packed that Team of the Year, Eric Cantona. But again, overall, I mean, the transfer profit is going to be liquid because we're buying players really cheap, not selling the players that we buy because they're going straight into the RTG really, and you know, all of our rewards are being sold, so our transfer profit should be really high. Could it be higher? Potentially, if we were trading, but that's not what this type of RTG is. Now, onto the weekend league just there for the Premier League. We did manage to get 10 and 4, which means we had an opportunity to get ourselves that elusive 11 wins, which is one of our major goals for this year, going into the final game. And did we manage to do it this time around? Unfortunately not. You know, no complaints in this game. It was the better team. We actually messaged back and forth after the match, and he was 10 and 1 at that point. So no complaints at all at defeat in that one. Wasn't really much I could have done. It's unfortunate because we don't get the 11 wins, especially when you look at this game, which was earlier on in this weekend league. 7.2 XG to 3.3. And we end up drawing 7-7. There was no goal scored in extra time, and we lost this game in penalties. That's why I'm desperate for that Jack Butland to just go at this point. He's letting in goals galore. This game in particular was the one that I look back at as the one that cost the 11 wins this weekend. I think once we get a goalkeeper upgrade, it is something that we will achieve sooner rather than later. If we don't get the goalie upgrade, then we might not achieve it this season, unfortunately. Anyway, on to a little bit of a tour of the clubs. So I thought I'd show off every single, Scottish Premiership special card that we've got kicking around at the moment. So as you can see, a lot of the players there are actually in the starting 11 or subs because of their rating. Then on to the next bunch there, another bit of team of the seasons, like Bomono, Olasanya as well. Really big fan of most of the EVOs that they've released during Tots. A couple have been questionable. On to the next page, we've got a bunch of Foot Birthday EVOs there. Now that they've put the ratings cap at 91, potentially we've got some of these guys that might be able to go into another EVO pretty soon. I was hesitant to put Daisen Maeda in one because I'm holding out hope that he's going to get a team of the season. Then we go on to some of the more lower rated ones now that could potentially be really good with 1 or 2 EVOs. We've got, of course, that very first SPFL hero in DeMarcus Beasley, who could potentially go into a left back EVO down the line or something like that, or even maybe even a left mid or left wing EVO as well. Another page of them. The Ronan Hale, I'm putting a few play style EVOs onto him because he only had 2. Some of the ones that you get from Rush in the Team of the Season Cup, for example, to get him up a little bit, and then he might be very, very usable after that. And then we've got some of the really low-rated ones, of course. We've got that Polvara, Sockler and Mulligan, who have stats well above their rating. Just those silver evolutions that they've done to get them to that stage. Hopefully, at some point, they go into one to increase the rating, because, of course, one of the rules that we implemented this year is we have to have the highest-rated possible players that we can use in the starting 11, so that brings us to being unable to use them as it stands, despite the fact that they could be pretty good players for us. I've got Carter Vickers sitting there waiting to go into a centre-half evolution as well. Potentially could be very good. We've obviously got the Danilo that's currently an active EVO going up to 84 rated when he's finished as well. And then we have the last page of players that would need maybe a silver or bronze EVO to bring them up to speed. And then on to some of the high-rated fodder that we've gotten from either Champs Rewards or just opening packs from objectives and stuff like that, or player picks from objectives, as well as the actual season pass itself for the likes of Mertens and Lala, for example. We've got the Rodgers that you needed the 10 wins and Champs to get, Bruno Fernandes as well, untradeable, along with a couple of other high-rated bits of fodder. As it stands, of course, there hasn't been an SBC that pertains to us, icon or hero-wise or anything like that to do. So the fodder's just going to sit there for the time being. But that's going to wrap up episode 26 anyway. No gameplay this time around or anything like that. Just a little bit of an update. At the time of recording, I'm very, very close to 800 subscribers, which is phenomenal. Thank you very much to everybody who's liked and subscribed recently, whether you've been checking out the RTG content, the football content, the wrestling content, whatever. The viewership and subscribers are appreciated. If you are new around here, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.